Imagine this. You get to Penn State your freshman year. You pour all of your time, energy, and work into something over the course of the next 3 years. Then, by the time that you reach your senior year, that end goal you've been working towards is literally right in front of you. You can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it within arm's reach. But then, out of nowhere, the rug gets completely pulled out from under you. What do? Do you give up, or do you make that your reason to keep going? Hi everyone, my name is Cykosky, and I'm a senior here at Penn State studying supply chain management. And here's the story of how I got back up after that rug was completely swept out from under me. So a little bit about me, I've been a tennis player ever since I was in 3rd grade. And when I reached my senior year of high school, I had to make a big decision if I wanted to continue playing tennis at a Division II school on a scholarship, or attend my dream school, Penn State University Park, but possibly not continue tennis at the level I was before. Well, at the end of the day, of course I was going to choose my dream school, Penn State University. And once I got here, I committed myself to finding ways to continue the sport that I love. So I've been involved in tennis here at Penn State in 2 realms, varsity and club. I've been the manager for the Penn State women's varsity tennis team ever since my freshman year. And during my freshman year, I also signed up for Penn State club tennis. Now, when I originally joined club tennis, I just thought it was going to be a way for me to make some new friends and continue playing the sport that I love. However, it turned out to be so much more than just that. It was during my freshman year that I set a goal that by the time I was a senior, I'd like to become the president of the club. And as the years went by, I knew I was on the right track because then during my sophomore year, I was elected as secretary, and during my junior year, I was elected as vice president. And I gave my 110% to those positions. I was committed to bringing the club to a new level through large-scale event planning like tournaments, community service, and fundraisers, as well as just the day-to-day tasks of running a club of over 100 students. It was during my junior year when I was the vice president for club tennis that I discovered the Penn State Club Sports Council, which represents all 57 club sports teams here at Penn State. And I was elected to serve as the community service chair for that year. It was in that moment that I decided I'd like to become the president of this club as well by my senior year. Flash forward, February of 2020. We're halfway through the 2nd semester of my junior year. Elections are underway for next year's club tennis officer board. Results are in. I'm president. Yes, I won. I did it. It looks like I'm going to achieve my 4-year plan. Wait a minute. What's happening? March of 2020. A global pandemic strikes the world. The rug has been completely pulled out from under my feet. Not in the 4-year plan. This was going to be over by summer, right? So I opened up my Google Calendar and I started planning our fall practice times, tournament dates, and community service weekends. However, as March became June and then June became August, nothing really changed. We were able to return to campus, but we were not permitted to hold any in-person activities. And in my opinion, out of all student organizations, club sports were hit the hardest. While other clubs could transition from a classroom to a Zoom call, how could we go from a tennis court to a Zoom call? The reason that we're all gathered together is to play our sport. We're not just meeting to talk about it. My heart was crushed. I was completely devastated. I felt like I had lost control of the one thing I'd been working towards for the past 3 years, even after achieving my goals of club tennis president and the club sports council. So in that moment, I had 2 options. Option 1 was to use this as an excuse not to do anything the rest of the year. Option 2 was to make this the reason I was going to do something. So what did I decide? Well, I told my club tennis executive board that we were going to make club tennis history. We were going to create a virtual tennis club, which has never happened before, so that we could look back and think, at least we gave it our all, even during a global pandemic. So there were also foundational aspects of club tennis that we could address, such as updating the Constitution, improving communication amongst our officer board through weekly meetings, as well as strengthening our relationship with the Penn State Tennis Center, as well as the United States Tennis Association. On top of all of this, we created so many opportunities for virtual engagement in order to help ease the transition for the freshmen when we were able to return to in-person activities. We did so many things, just like a freshman mentor-mentee program, weekly trivia, virtual game nights, virtual tennis lessons with the Penn State Tennis Center, motivational sessions, incredible guest speakers, virtual fitness. I think that we did just about everything that you could think of. And what was the result? A unified officer board. A group of freshmen that we wouldn't have met until their sophomore year. And most importantly, a year that taught me more about what it means to be a leader than any of the previous ones. So why am I sharing this story with you? Well, when I reached Penn State during my freshman year, it was my end goal, like many other students, to achieve their degree in order to qualify for a full-time job after graduation. However, I found that it was actually my soft skills like communication, teamwork, leadership, networking that set me apart. Those are the skills that recruiters are looking for. And for the most part, I gained those skills from my out-of-the-classroom experiences. For example, during the summer of my junior year, I was offered an internship with PepsiCo. Now, my supply chain degree qualified me for this role, but do you want to know what I talked about for the majority of my interview? My leadership experiences through club sports. After my internship, I was even offered a full-time role at PepsiCo. And again, it wasn't because of my incredible supply chain knowledge at the company. It was because of my soft skills that I acquired through my leadership experiences at club sports. So my message for freshmen and all of the other underclassmen out there is that it is crucial to get involved now more than ever in order to gain these skills. And it doesn't matter what you are a leader in. For example, who would have thought that the tennis club would provide me with my leadership experiences? It wasn't like it was the supply chain club. The pandemic could be your reason to not join any new clubs, organizations, or try any new positions. It's so easy right now to hide behind your computer screen. But how is that going to affect you in the long run? If you don't know where to start, then try orgcentral.psu.edu. This is a website that not a lot of freshmen I talk to know about. It lists over 1,000 clubs here at Penn State, all sorted by category. Take advantage of the resources you have while you're still a Penn State student. Find something that interests you. Send out an email to that club inquiring how to get involved. And then actually become an active member and know that your efforts will be worthwhile. It might seem hard to believe this, especially now in a global pandemic, but your actions today could cause you to be the leader of your club down the road. The current leaders are going to graduate. I know for a fact that the freshmen who were involved in club tennis this year virtually will be the future leaders of the club. And if we didn't provide them any opportunities to get engaged this year, then they might have struggled down the road to rebuild their leadership. So if that rug ever gets yanked out from under your feet, get back up. Make the pandemic the reason that you are serving up leadership. Thank you.